like it though. I think Fresno State's probably the right side.
Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by Adam Trigger and Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. All right, this is going to be another fun one. For some reason, the schedulers gave two of my outright underdogs this week for our game video, so I love to hear if Adam and Dave are on the same side of me. Fresno State, this one's kind of all over the board. Depending on where you like to shop, head over to the WagerTalk odds screen so you can get the accurate numbers for your book. But we've got 11.5, we've got 12, and we've got 12.5. Dave, I did take 12.5 with the Fresno State Bulldogs. I thought this was too many points. Now, the reason why I put them in my parlay is the exact same reason why I put Stanford in my parlay last week, except they threw 4 interceptions and had a touchdown called back. This is not, I'm not ready to crown Caleb Williams the Heisman winner just yet. Bulldogs might be barking in the Coliseum. They've covered 6 of their last 7 versus the Pac-12. Somebody help me make sense of this, Dave. I'm going to go to you first.
Well, does Fresno State bounce back from a really tough loss last week? Tough loss for me, too, because I had Fresno at a good number against Oregon State. Looks like I'm going to win. And Oregon State drives down the field at the end of the game. And it looked like they were going to go for the tie in overtime. And a timeout could call by Fresno. And they came out and decided, well, let's go for the win. And they got it. Last play of the game, Oregon State wins it. So that's a really tough beat from Fresno State, especially at home. And I'm not thrilled with the idea of playing them off that loss. On the other hand, I think the line's too high in terms of relative talent. I made the line 9, so you got some value on the Fresno State side. What I think I like here is the over. Look, Hayner's a really good quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be an NFL QB. I'm not sure about the arm strength, and his size isn't great, but he's a terrific college quarterback. And you can do some damage against USC's defense. I mean, USC's got a tremendous offense, but their defense, I think, is a little bit shaky. I think the same can be said for Fresno. I think their worries are going to be on the defensive side of the ball, but Hayner's going to get them down the field and into the end zone on offense. This looks like a Saturday shootout to me. Going to see a lot of scoring. It's a high number, but with good reason. I'll go with the over between the Bulldogs and the Trojans.
Yeah, nobody wants any part of this under. This one opened 68.5, and now we're starting to see 75s pop up. This one is going absolutely wild. Adam, are you on the dog with me, or do you like the total with Dave?
Well, I think Dave might have just sold me on the total because everything he said makes complete sense. And one of the things that I'll start with it, I think Hayner's very underrated, a very talented quarterback. And when you talk about a 12.5 point spread, Kel, I mean, even if this does get a little out of hand at some point, I like Hayner's ability to drive down the field. And if it could be an 18-point game, he comes down late, scores, and you're good. I've come on WagerTalk TV on these videos, and I've been pumping up USC since before the start of the season, and they've made me look good so far. Cal, they've rolled, 2-0 against the spread, 2 easy wins. But Fresno State, it will just go. I mean, obviously Rice is whatever, but like Fresno State, in my opinion, is a significantly better team than Stanford. Like I think I don't think Stanford is very good. I think this Fresno State team is a good team. And the only thing keeping me off of Fresno State from like making this a client play is that I have USC rated so high. Because as it stands and where the number is, like there's no question the right play here is probably Fresno State plus the 12.5. And now I'm worried that I maybe missed the mark a little bit. As you were saying, you're already starting to see 11.5s here. But even with that being said, I think you had referenced it at the beginning of the video. 6-1 against the spread. Last 7 against the Pac-12, and just look at how they lost some of these games. Last year, they had the Oregon Ducks on the ropes. Should have won, lost it within like 3 minutes left to go in the game. They beat UCLA, and then, of course, Dave, gave us a great breakdown of it at the top of the video. They had that game pretty much won last week, and Oregon State comes and walks it off on a 2-point conversion, final play of the game. Everything Fresno State has done in the last couple of years suggests that they should keep this game close. And I would have a hard time disagreeing with it. Anything can happen, at any time. As you saw last week, turnovers can play a big part. But if this game plays out like it probably would like 8 or 9 out of 10 times. I think Fresno State keeps it within 12 and possibly wins the game.
Well, I'm hoping they can shock the world. That's exactly what the Oregon State Beavers did for me last year this week in the Coliseum. So fingers crossed that I can somehow cash this plus 380 underdog on the road. Again, they're plus 380 for a reason, but I'm happy to hear that Adam and Dave agree this is just too many points for the Trojans to be laying. Make sure you guys head over to our Wager Talk YouTube channel and check out all of our other videos.